Okay, so just introduce them to what we are doing.
Oh, we're reading bad Facebook roleplay.
We love it. If these people ever see it, know that we love you.
Jean got home and went to bed. And that's like the start of it. That's where progressing is, just stating what you're doing. Alex decided not to answer a answer. The door, she went to bed instead. So I don't know where the doors come into this, but Jean was asleep at home. Alex couldn't sleep, so she rang Jean. Jean answered the phone. What? What? Alex found as he sounded angry. Doesn't matter now. I'm sure you're busy. She hung up, putting her head in her hands. Jean rang her back quickly. Boly. Alex answered the phone. Hello? I'm sorry, Jean said. I didn't know it was you.
Oh, God.
I'm not busy. He obviously didn't know it was her because in those days they did not have caller ID. It's kind of like a hard concept, but obviously.
Well, he knew her voice, but...
Okay, said Alex. So I wish you would have stayed. I'm lonely. And so basically he's like, want to come over? She's like, yeah, you could, or I could come to you. Kind of awkward teenage-ishness, and they're just a bit awkward. But then within minutes, Alex knocked on the door, so she's obviously gone round to his house for a bit of the happy fun
like
times. Yeah.
In the bush.
Jim kissed her back lightly. You all right? Alex nodded. I am now. She walked in, taking his coat off. I don't know why she's wearing his coat, or maybe she's just ripping it off of him. But why he'd be sleeping in his coat and have got it to get down to his own door? I'm not quite sure. There's obviously a plot point we have missed somewhere along the lines. He shut the door behind her. As he did, she started kissing him, roughly. He put her arms around her back, kissing her hard. She smiled, pulling away. I want you again. Kind of thing. And he was like, bedroom this time. So obviously there's been a previous time that has possibly happened on a desk, a table, on the stairs, somewhere unhygienic, a quattro, who knows. Basically, they've done it somewhere strange and a bit naughty. She smirked. Wow, that bed is big. Because that's obviously what you're going to think about. You're thinking, there's lots of room. I mean, he's going to be laying on top of me, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, surely, after all, there's obviously been humpings going on like Sam's bed, and that was tiny. So obviously the size of bed doesn't actually matter. But when you're trying to arouse someone, you just talk about big things. So, oh, you got a big bed. You know what they say about men with big beds? Yeah, kind of thing. Who knows? He starts to kiss her neck.
Oh.
And he kisses up to her lips, kissing her passionately. He starts to get undressed, so obviously he's just kind of like, kind of like, there, doing that.
Sexy.
She took off her bra and then undid her pants while kissing him. So obviously, maybe it's an American one, or maybe Boly Knickers has zips on her knickers just to make it quicker.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He took off his trousers while still kissing her. He really is quite multi-talented, this Jean. She did the same and kissed him harder, but with a little apostrophe before the kissed, as though she's speaking. I don't know what's happening there, but something is happening there. He pushed down his boxers. She broke the kiss to take her knickers off, which is already unzipped already at some point. He watched her as she did. No, did this as she did. He watched her as she did. She's done, in fact. She stepped out of them, biting her lip. Oh, a little more biting. Obviously sexy. Jean sat down on the bed, pulling her with him. Jean kisses her deeply. And then she lets her hand modder. He moans. She puts her hand between his legs, teasing him. It's kind of like, oh, you're a bit small down there. Kind of thing. Kind of, obviously, so she's just mocking him slightly at this moment. And Jane smirked as she did, watching her. Because that's a sentence. And Alex continued teasing him. Obviously, this person doesn't actually know what you do with a penis.
Find this video.
So she's just teasing him, because that's all we can describe it, teasing him. So whether she's just kind of like putting faces at his penis. Oh, but he hasn't got to the point. Oh, yeah. Basically, Jake went, "You're turning me on," as he would say that, rather than saying, "Oh, you're getting me a bit randy here." You're turning me on. It's quite obvious. You can tell with a guy. You don't really need to ask. But she smirked. Good. She carried on. Jean started to get wet. Now, I'm being a bit worried here. I mean, Is there something that Gene needs to tell us about a past operation that he's obviously had at some point? Is trans Gene actually real? Is trans Gene spreading across the internet? Have I started something that has now got into roleplay? Well, basically, he's getting a bit wet, like a girl. But, so either there's a drip in the ceiling or he's transsexual. I'm not quite sure. But it would be pretty awesome if he was female to male, because he would just be awesome. He would be amazing. And
We have to
I moved her lips
afterwards.
down there. Jim smirked watching her because that's what down there,
She put her
down
lips
there,
down there,
down there.
that's
So
all.
we're assuming it's down there, but you never know. She could be going for the toe, the knee, down there. So we're assuming it's the unmentionable area, which you
thinking
can't
it's
mention
the
when
knee
you're
that
that
she's
young.
going for.
Yeah, the knee. So she's going for the ear, and he just smirked watching her because that's what you do when you're having a blowjob on your knee. You just like watch people smirk. That's my knee. It's good. Alex licked him dry. Surely,
What?
there's just a bit of biology going on here. Slobber's a bit wet. If you're licking someone, there's just going to go water on there.
But
Well,
he's-
slobber, and it's going to be wet. But he's already wet. So we're actually not quite sure what she's licking
She's
him
licking
out.
him with.
Her tongue, probably.
No, I mean, but to get him dry, to lick him dry.
A sponge. Alex Drake has a sponge for a tongue. So he's now dry from being wet, which he shouldn't have been anyway. And then they're just like, hee, hee, hee. And then look at my status. And oh, then they continue back role playing because. And you're just like, oh, look at my status in the middle of like awful sex. He kissed her deeply, putting his arms around her. Like, do you actually think that this is in character for Gene Hunt? I mean, and like she's still down there, so surely would Cara like to come and
What would
so
he-
you're down there,
it's like that,
on my
and then-
knee, obviously, and I'm like, I love you. So that's what's happening there, and I love you, she said in the kiss. So we're like, and he's like,
Well, she can't say into the kiss because she's
still
mouthing
kissing his knee. She's still marrying his knee. So somehow they've got up there and started kissing at some point, and he's like, I love you too, but that's kind of in character. Most guys will say I love you if you're kissing their knee. So she moans softly into the kiss. She's doing a lot of moaning. He started squeezing where his hands were.
Where were
They could have been there. They could have been on her butt. They could have been holding his own cheeks at the time and just been doing this in the middle of sex, going hello and day 60. Not that you say that because he's Gene Hunt, but like, oh, I'm butch. Or something like that. Moaning lightly into the kiss, loving the feeling, and there's no punctuation. That's all one thing. He started to, you know what, while kissing her. I don't know what.
Where does it say that?
He started to, you know what, while kissing her. Oh, Gene, she said against his lips, and he's like saying, I love her again, and love you too, she moaned. He carried on, oh God, he moaned, and
But she's
then
not
it
doing
kind of
anything.
stops. Then it kind of stops.
But
Nothing
she's
more has
still-
happened.
Is she still kissing him? They're just kissing, and
But he's just moaning, and he's doing you know what to her. I don't know what. This is kind of like roleplay. You have to kind of like tell us. It's not like a film where we can see and go, oh, he's doing you know
But
what.
when they stop saying "you know what," that would make me sad.
Yeah.
Because when he stops saying that, then he won't get to the point.
The point, yes,
point.
because and we can't find it at the moment, but they keep on getting to the point, which we assume is orgasm, either that or
Actually-
a direction on a map. Kind of sweet. It's kind of innocent. These are obviously like 12-year-old girls, and so don't cry if you
God.
see us
Are
telling
they?
us that. I think they are.
I'd
I
say
mean, like
14,
Genie
16.
Hunt. Like this is the guy that's playing Gene Hunt. If Ali, Boly, Kecks, Drake, proposed to you, what would you do? And his answer was, bit too young to make that decision. Unhappy face. So
I'd say
it's obviously
14 or
not
15.
playing in character. I'm saying 12. 12 it's 12. It's a kid, and it's the point, and you know what, and it's all stuff that we can't
But-
mention.
but they get
and
a little bit-
down there we don't actually mention, and it's sweet. It's
They've
innocent,
changed
and it's
since
kind
then,
of.
though, haven't they? They've done
They
other
have.
ones.
But they've done. Well, no, I don't think, because that's just as far as it goes.
Is that either of the?
Alex is waterfall with Genie Hunt. I mean, it just stops there when they kind of like ruined it when they started talking about marriage, and suddenly the hot sex, we assume sex, it could have just been knee licking, stopped. So that is all. That is Alex's wall to wall with Genie Hunt. Facebook roleplay. Get on there.